It's your girl, Okay, so today I am here in Jennifer's place. She had the nerve to go on vacation. I don't know who approved that, but I do have a very special guest today. I'm sharing my stage. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce him. Y'all better clap. John Lewis! Hey, John Lewis, he's the coolest, against violence, never silent.
John Lewis, he's the coolest, against violence, never silent.
Hey, thank you. Okay, Congressman Lewis, welcome and thank you for making time today. So you have been in the halls of power for decades, but you started out in Troy, Alabama, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. You know, my first church was on a chicken coop, and my family was actually sharecroppers. And they used to have chickens, and whenever they would eat it, I would protest about it, you know? So, like, they was, back when they was sick, you know? Yeah. And then I baptized.
You prayed for them when they was sick?
I did.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
And then, you know, as I looked around, though, it was like segregated schools, and I always seen these signs that said colors only. And I asked my parents about it, and they would just say, that's just what it is, and don't get in trouble. So I always did the good trouble, the necessary trouble.
Necessary trouble. Y'all heard that? Okay.
Amen.
You actually wrote to Dr. King when you were just a teenager, right? You were 18. You wanted to desegregate Troy State College. When I was 18, I wasn't desegregating colleges, I'll tell you that. He sent you a bus ticket, though, to Montgomery to meet him. And when you walked in, he said, are you the boy from Troy? Is that right? I'm saying that right?
And, you know, from that moment, my life wasn't just mine anymore. It belonged to the community. It was the movement. So, you know, my story, actually, you know my story more than I do, and I'm impressed.
I dabble, yes, I dabble. It belonged to the movement. It belonged to the movement. That's my favorite part, listen. And I can't wait for you to tell us more about it. But first, we're going to go to a small commercial break.
Have you ever felt out of place? Has your family ever tried to sell you for silver? Well, let me introduce all new FC Threads, robe of many colors. This isn't just a robe, it's power you can wear. Get your robe of many colors at favoritechild.com. FC Threads, add color, and claim power. favoritechild.com.
Threads, y'all. Look, get y'all a little coat. I already got mine on the way. I'm wearing it tomorrow, actually. Yep. Okay, so John, most people know your name from the big moments, but you were arrested over 40 times. You were beaten during the Freedom Rides and in Nashville. Was there ever a moment where the philosophy of nonviolence felt like a little too much to ask?
Yes, you know, and violence isn't just about tactic. It's the way of life. It's that you love those who has evil, even though you're resisting it, you know?
Yeah. And I'm sure it was hard. Listen. In 1961, during the Freedom Rides, I heard you were beaten at a bus station in South Carolina. They say they left you in a pool of blood. Would you say that was the hardest day for you, March 7th, 1965, Bloody Sunday?
Yes, ma'am, it actually was.
And you led that march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selman. What were you thinking when you saw the state troopers waiting for you? Like, you must have felt like you were face to face with death.
Listen, I had a backpack with only a few books. I had an apple, an orange. And, you know, we was just walking, and the state troopers came up to us with tear gas and nightsticks, and I even suffered a fractured skull, you know? And it just amazed me because President Johnson, he sent the troopers out to Vietnam to go help fight, but he didn't send it to Alabama, you know?
Listen, but the blood on that bridge, it moved the values of the nation. Just 5 months later, the Voting Rights Act of 1965 was signed into law. You went from the streets to the seat of power, serving for Congress for over 30 years. 30 years! People call you the conscience of the Congress. Do you feel the good trouble is different in a suit and tie?
yes, the venue changes, but we don't change. So it's like the struggle, it's gonna always be a struggle. So as I'm sitting, regardless as if I'm sitting at a lunch counter or if I'm leading a sit-in, I'm always gonna the goal always gonna stay the same. And it's gonna be to humanize the law. Keep the laws humanized.
Yeah.
So, and then our country, it made changes, but we don't. And I actually had some of the troops come and ask me for my forgiveness after I had got beat, and that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that's why you're still an optimist.
it is, and you have to be, and you got to continue to be one.
Listen, find a way to get in the way. Listen.
Amen.
For the next generation of the world watching us right now today, what is your mandate to all of them?
I would say don't get lost in the sea of despair, and to always be an optimist and be hopeful. And, even though the struggle may get worse, but it's not who we made of. So we got to continue to keep going on, and it may take a day, a week, a month, a year, but never be afraid to make noise, and always do necessary trouble, good trouble, but not the bad one.
Not the bad one,
Amen.
okay? Y'all can't say he told you going around doing trouble. He said necessary trouble, okay?
That's right.
Listen, before we close, I have a few of your achievements here I want to tell the people, okay? You were the youngest of 6 leaders who organized the 1963 March on Washington named the Big Six, okay? On the Freedom Rides, you were one of the original 13 riders who challenged illegal segregation on interstate buses. As SNCC chairman, you led the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee during its most influential years, and you spent 33 years in the U.S. House championing the Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act, and health care. And lastly, but certainly not least, you were awarded a Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Barack Obama in 2011. Y'all got one of those? I don't have one. Not yet. Listen, y'all, we had a great time today. We did leave some Easter eggs as to who our guests will be for next week, so let's see if y'all can guess. But other than that, thank y'all. Love y'all. Have a good week.
And stay tuned.
Welcome to the HOU.